Good morning, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know, and I want to do a reaction to a video I just watched. I will link that below in the description here, and it's a man who has a short video with snippets from interviews of AI company executives, some high-ranking people, including Elon Musk and Sam Altman, if you're familiar with those names. And the man in his video who made this thing doesn't need to say anything. They speak for themselves. And I will take issue with the fact that these comments in his video are taken out of context, which is an abuse. I have to say that. But you can kind of get the spirit of what is happening from the comments, and there's something that needs to be said about it, in spite of it being taken out of context and a little bit abusive, but there's a real thing going on, and I want to talk about that just real quick here. So there is a point about what their agenda is, what the overarching goals are, and I think that the spirit of his video is on point. Despite being taken out of context, the comments are illuminating. They're illustrative of what is happening, and it's not good. Specifically, what's not good about the current AI agenda is all the things that they say. Check out the video. They are aiming to short circuit all conventional politics. Ultimately, this is really the highest overarching objective that I'm perceiving from this massive push to get AI into everything people use. Their browsers, their operating systems, their tools, and electronics. You can't avoid AI anymore. And if you recall, you never asked for it. It's just there, and they're forcing it into everything. And it's so that you have a man in the middle now. You have a man in the middle who never sleeps, never needs to get paid, has unswerving loyalty to its manufacturers, and is in your face 24/7. They admit it. They admit it in their comments that the purpose is to, for the first time, perhaps in human history, to control politics by way of technology, where before you had to petition people, you had to get their support and their endorsement, you had to get their buy-in. You don't have to do that anymore, or so they think. They think there's an opportunity to force the issue, to say, yeah, instead of having to deal with the people we have historically disagreed with, we can now just make it happen by way of technology. And connected to this are some very questionable philosophies and policies regarding treatment of people in general, things that have been unable to flourish in the past because of being unethical, being unsupportable, being downright immoral or abusive directly. And there is a question about how much role humans should even have in their own management among these circles of people who are involved in decision making for AI companies. They are, when put on the spot, they have no straight answer for you. When you ask some of these people, and you can see it in this video, the one linked below, what role should humans have moving forward according to them? And they avoid an answer. Sometimes they avoid saying, well, humans should be in charge. It's pretty clear that there's at least a division in belief or perspective on the issue, that some of them, if not most of them, believe that human beings are unsupportably prone to mismanage their own affairs, where AI, which happens to be their product that they're selling, will do a superior job, being artificial, being presumably unbiased, but also aligned with the manufacturer's objectives. Again, oh, okay, there's that. And then there's also, as admitted by Sam Altman in one of the comments, the view, this one surprised me. This is the first I've actually heard of this view, that AI should be regarded by everyone as another utility where you pay for, say, electricity or water. You can pay for intelligence, and they're going to sell it to you. It's going to become, by design, a necessary utility to solve modern problems, and you will rent or subscribe to it, on a package basis or a scale basis based on, business needs or individual needs, and this is their dream. Okay, I'm not saying that this is proper or what should happen. This is Sam Altman saying that's how he sees it. He sees intelligence as being a necessary utility, and their aim is to make it as necessary as possible to open your wallet. You can buy it from them on a subscription basis. Okay, there's a lot to be said about this. I don't want to go on and on about it. Intelligence isn't a necessary utility, first of all, regardless of how you define it. Not every living thing is intelligent. Let's start with this. Not every living thing is intelligent, and the things that aren't necessarily intelligent, say plants, say jellyfish, things that don't obviously qualify by human standards as being intelligent, are no less alive or successful or healthy in most cases. Intelligence isn't a necessary thing for survival necessarily. There are other options. So to assume that intelligence is some requirement, first of all, is a mistake. I do believe that in human society, you have to be a little bit intelligent, or else you fall through the cracks. You can't survive in human society as a human being without being intelligent. Now, maybe this is what they mean. In order to survive, you need their product now, just like you would need clean water or electricity nowadays. Okay, I sort of get where they're trying to go with this, but I think it's the wrong direction for a couple of reasons. And that, again, I don't want this to be a long, sprawling video, but we should be trying to get closer to the earth at this point to resolve problems from getting away from a natural lifestyle, which, if you ask me, most of our big social problems are from artificial existence. Artificial habitation, artificial laboratories, leaning on genetic engineering, leaning on all of the technologies that are convenient and profitable for a small group of people, but which have separated us from a natural, sustainable lifestyle. So we're trying, apparently, if we listen to these companies, to get further away from natural living. Artificial and natural are opposites. They're literal antonyms. Antonyms means opposites. So they're saying it doesn't matter because you're a human being and you don't have the capacity to manage yourself to begin with. You don't have the ability or the reason. They're saying the AI is going to do that for you now, and we're going to make it happen for a price. This is some scary stuff. So final thing I'll say, just before 8 minutes. There's an attack on the First Amendment. One of these speakers in this short video, linked below, says that we have to protect the First Amendment by limiting it. The man is confused, and I think that whoever let this man get on a microphone did more harm to their cause than they can possibly imagine. Okay, to limit the First Amendment in order to protect it, excuse me? Yeah, no, that sounds like some double talk there. So, speaking of talk, the First Amendment only works when it is complete freedom of speech. And to define what that means, when I say freedom of speech, it means everything that is not intentionally misleading or misrepresentative or hate speech that is aimed at attacking somebody. That would not constitute freedom of speech. But if you have a sincere, legitimate observation or political view to express, you are allowed to say that in any public place, in any way, in any fashion that you like, in print, verbally, however you like, with sign language, you name it. In this country, it is a constitutionally guaranteed, inalienable human right. And it doesn't matter who you are. They cannot take your freedom of speech away, they being the government or its affiliates or agents, because the entire infrastructure is based upon the same laws that govern the people in this country. Now, whether or not you agree with that or like it, it's a fact. At this time, it is a complete fact. And my point here is, in the video link below, one of the speakers, an executive for AI, is saying here's an opportunity to monitor everybody online, to control the dialogue, to eliminate the dialogue, to turn it into a monologue. Now, he doesn't say this, but this is the essence of what he does say. Rephrasing what I heard him say is, we don't want any more dialogue. We want you to do what we say. We want you to speak, within channels, speak within topics that we provide. You may communicate freely in a zone that we provide for you as long as it stays on topic. And this is confirmed. This is 100% confirmed by my personal experiences online at this time. It's already happening. It's not proposed. It's not something that could be a dystopian future. It's literally in progress. These people believe that they are correct. They believe that humans should no longer manage themselves. They should not be free to speak about whatever they like. The dialogue needs to turn into a monologue coming from them for a price, and it should be sold as a utility. Because, well, of course, because they have bills to pay and they're the ones selling it. This is very, very, very bad. And I think that it's going to fall apart one way or another, but it needs to be taken apart immediately by any means necessary. That's my feeling. Okay, 11 minutes. Reach out with questions or comments down below and check out the short snippet. It's a short video. It's worth your time. Thank you.